All right, guys, welcome to episode 187 of Open Your Toys Cast, the podcast dedicated to the four greatest action figure franchises of the 80s and all time. And those are Mr. Mastrangelo,
Masters of the Universe, Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Star Wars.
Yeah, so far just me and Rock. Mark Haddock should be joining us shortly. I think Lotus is passing on today. I know Sundays are kind of rough for him, so that's why we've been doing Monday casts as well. And hopefully Jay's working on joining us. He's having some technical difficulties, so we may have a full show, or it may just be me and the Rockster. So all right, let me share my screen up in this joint. Share screen.
He's probably having as much technical difficulties as my hair is having.
Yeah,
that's why I'm Lucha Libre farting dad today, because I have some Liberace Elvis hair going.
Yeah, I guess I buried the lead on there, that you got the most awesome Lucha Libre mask I've ever seen.
It'll be pretty funny when people click on, they see me with this thing on.
All right. Well, if you would like to kick it with us, you can do that. For Rock, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook in the group, and you can find me on the YouTubes, Rock the Farting Dad, and you can also check out my eBay page, Seller ID is Rock DM.
Oh yeah, that's a good one to promote. I should be rocking that too. I don't know what my username is Jason Spiller, all one word. So let's see. If you want to follow me, you can find me at facebook.com/openyourtoys. You can hit me up on Instagram at slickmcfavor, and then I've got email slick@openyourtoys.com. Now see, I'm like, aren't I missing things? No, that's... So if you want to kick it with us outside as a group, our favorite place to do that nowadays is YouTube, man. We've got live chat going right now. So if you're watching and you want to chime in on anything we're talking about, hopefully Rock will keep an eye on that and let us know when people have some comments. We've got our Facebook group and our Facebook page. This is all found at openyourtoys.com. Our Facebook group is facebook.com/group/openyourtoys. And our Facebook page is facebook.com/openyourtoyscast. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Google Play. You can subscribe through an RSS feed and hear us on Stitcher Smart Radio as well. And then if you want to support the show, just click on this Amazon link or this eBay link whenever you shop there, and we will get a few pennies of your hard-earned money. Well, not of your hard-earned money, of Amazon or eBay's hard-earned money. All right, let's see. We also have a team email at team@openyourtoys.com or voicemail at 720-235-TOYS. That's 720-235-8697. Here, that might help a little bit. Let's see. All right, Mr. Mastrangelo, what are you drinking, sir?
I have a cup of coffee. It's Hampton's Watermill Roast. It's a medium-bodied coffee with one sweet and lonesome half and half.
Nice. Is that a local coffee?
Yes, it's. I want to support my local businesses. They have 5 or 6 different coffee shops, but obviously due to the circumstances right now, they're closed. So what they did is they had a deal that if you bought whole bags of beans, they would give you a deal. So, I got 4 bags for $30 shipped, where they're normally like $15 or $16 a pound.
Nice.
So, yeah, help keep the local business going, get a good deal on coffee. It's a win-win for everybody.
And then you got to grind your own.
Yeah, I love grinding my own beans.
There you
it's nice. Fresh. Yeah, it's my Sunday thing.
And then I was going to say. I think if I were a coffee drinker, I'd definitely be a grind your own kind of guy.
Yeah.
So
I feel a little bit more connected that way.
Exactly. Well, and what's funny is I'm hoping it looks like we've got a couple watchers on with us right now, but I messed up. I scheduled the live broadcast through YouTube, and what I need to do is schedule it through StreamYard or StreamYard because when I started the StreamYard stream, it doubled it up. We had 2 live streams going at the same time. So
Gotcha.
I will hopefully get better at that. But for me, at least, I am supporting local as well. I am drinking Denver Beer Company's Princess Yum Yum Raspberry Gulch. And I had a choice between this and sour apricot. And I figured Princess Yum Yum would have been the funnier one to drink on the show.
I would have gone with that one too.
And I love it. This is a pretty common one out here in Denver. You can get on tap in bars and that kind of stuff, and it's always fun to order. Can I get a large Princess Yum Yum, please? So Brian Brink's joining us. What up, Brinkalizer? Thank you for joining us. Glad to have you. All right. Oh, let me see if this has any. No, made with real raspberries. And it's got there. Oh, here we go. Because your stepsisters are bitches. That's
So they make one for mother-in-laws.
exactly. All right. So first up, virtual JoeCon. That's right. What's on Joe Mind is going to be doing a virtual con over between May 4th and Saturday, May 10th. And you'll be getting 1 star-studded panel per day. So I think that's going to be cool. I'm definitely going to chime into that. Nice way to still get your con on in this environment. Let's see, can I blow up Facebook? Yeah. So go support those guys. This is just a post on our page, but it's just shared from the What's on Joe Mind website page. And they're also doing a fundraiser. Looks like raising money for the World's Central Kitchen, an organization that provides meals to first responders and displaced victims from all manner of tragedies that's been busting it double time in the face of COVID. So,
will there be a $400 virtual box set with many repainted figures or no?
Exactly. Yeah. They should do like a picture version of it, and then Lotus could collect that.
Exactly. And then everybody could still bitch about it.
Yeah, these pictures suck.
Oh, come on, Hasbro, really? Kit Bash and repaint it again, really?
Let's see. The next Black Series Deluxe has been confirmed via Target system. $44.99 for a Dagobah Luke with Yoda. So this is cool. It's not my favorite. The training scene's never been my favorite scene from Star Wars. But I think if it's packaged well, it would definitely. I've gotten every Yoda they've ever put out in the Black Series, and I'm not the hugest of Luke fans. So if it's packaged well and looks good in the package, this is probably a purchase and just keep in the box for me.
Well, if it's anything like the last one when they did Chewbacca with the C-3PO, it might actually look pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Because you got to imagine it's about the same thing, right? It's a character carrying somebody in a backpack on the back. Yeah.
And you never know. Maybe when they just did all the child figures they had running in the factory, maybe it was kind of a similar, I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with that as well. Like you're making maybe a reuse part of that. I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's quite a bit smaller. He's only like 1.25 inches, even in Black Series. So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I was just thinking at first, and I realized, no, they're probably not doing it.
Yeah, Rock. All right. Next up, maps confirm 4 Earthrise waves. I put wave, but taking a look at the graphic here. So we've got these first ones have been this wave 1 here. So we've got the grapple and the hoist and Starscream and all of that. And so it looks like as they reveal this map, we're going to get our look at additional waves, which is cool because they're putting the leaders on here too. So it'll be great to get if we get 4 waves of leaders and voyagers along with the deluxes.
Interesting.
Couldn't take it anymore, huh? Too sweaty?
Yeah, it's getting a little, it's getting a little hot in there. Plus, I want to drink my coffee.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask too. I was like, do you have a straw to drink your coffee with?
Screw the Liberace hair.
I think you look good, dude. I've been watching a lot of 80s and I've been watching a few surfing documentaries, and I think you look right in there on the North Shore, bro.
It's like 2 months since I got a haircut. So it's driving me nuts right now.
Yeah, just because dad is looking pretty shabby, and he was a biker, so he used to have the long braid down to his ass and shit. And but since he's cut it short, and now he's like, it's driving me crazy because it's in that weird spot. It's not long enough to look cool, and it's not short enough to look cool.
Do you know that meme with the guy from Ancient Aliens, Giorgio Tsoukalos, or I can't pronounce his name, but I do this thing where I mess up my hair. My hair's like out to here, and I go, "It's not aliens, but it's aliens."
We got 46 and 2 joining us live. Welcome, sir. Welcome back. And Mark, Mr. Mark Haddock from Down Under is ready to join us. Let's add that sucker in. Hola, Mark. Buenos tardes.
Morning, gentlemen. How we doing?
Good. How about you?
Yeah, not too bad. It's an early morning start. I was a bit caught off guard.
No, I know. That's what we were talking about right before we get in. I was like, Mark said he was going to join us, and Rock was reminding me that it's 7:30 in the morning there for you.
8:30.
Oh, it's not too bad.
We were both wrong, Rock. I thought it was 9 there for you. He thought it was 7. So
yep.
No, it's not too bad. I was just doing some morning things before I jumped on. So yeah, all good.
All right. Well, we've only hit the first couple thing in toy news here, but since you missed it, virtual JoeCon, May 4th through the 10th. What's on Joe Mind is going to be spearheading a star-studded panel each day during that time period.
Oh, okay. It's good to see that even though conventions can't be gone to, that at least they're doing some attempt to put something out for people.
Yeah, and those guys know all the voice actors and all the important people in the Joe community. So it looks like the Brinkalizer says that he's looking like Yahoo Serious right now. Now was Yahoo Serious like a really popular guy there before he made the crossover into America, or was that a completely Americanized Australian thing?
I'll be honest with you. Other than the 2 movies or 3 movies he put out, I'd never heard of the guy beforehand, and I've never heard of him since. So, I reckon he would have been famous for about 20 minutes.
Exactly.
Well, my favorite thing out of Australia right now is Sushi Mango. They're 4 guys who do ethnic dads, and I love it.
I didn't realize they're Australian. I follow them on YouTube too. I love
those guys. They do the ethnic dads. One's supposed to be Greek, one's supposed to be Italian, one's supposed to be, I think, like Irish. Oh, I love those guys.
Yeah, that's look them up if you haven't seen them. They're fun, short skits. Very offensive if you're a snowflake, I guess.
I think the wife's actually checked him out a couple of times, and she tends to laugh a bit because, especially with the Italian one, because it does sound like her old man. So he's pretty spot on with that.
Those guys remind me of everybody I grew up with in Queens. So to me, that's why I love
yeah, that's why I was like, oh, they're Australian, because they do. They just seem like they're out of New York or something. All right. So we're taking a look at the Joe Declassified in hands. I'm going to keep blowing these things up. So yeah, after the show last week, I really kind of took a hard look at my Snake Eyes, and I really like this one. Just a few silver accents on them. So I'm glad that I got both, because I do like the look of that exclusive set that Pulse put out. But he looks really good here. I don't know about that red spot at the top of his visor. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, still can't. Like, this Duke would look great if his gun wasn't gold, and he didn't have shin pads and knee pads.
Well, maybe he's gonna go play deck hockey afterwards.
Let's see, and then we get Roadblock here, and again, looking good because you can't see all that bullshit gold that they put on them. Look at the sides of the packages. Cool to see Roadblock stands taller than the rest. Again, the Destro just looks fucking spot on. I love that Destro.
Yeah, it's probably the best one of the lot.
Yeah. And they're growing on me, and I've seen comments. I've seen comments both ways. I've seen, especially based on this post, like people saying, "Yep, these are garbage." Like, these aren't my Joes. And then people kind of more in my boat where I'm warming up to them. They're not as bad as I thought they'd be, but pretty strong consensus that Snake Eyes and Destro are definitely the best out of those.
I mean, they're not necessarily my favorite, but I wouldn't say they're garbage or they're terrible. I mean, there's some things where I would like different weapon choices, maybe color them a little bit different, but I wouldn't say they're horrible or terrible. They're just, they're a little bit different. They're kind of in the middle between what I expected and what we got. It's just they're not full vintage, but they're, they had to make them somewhere in the middle. I get what they're doing. They're not going to have these come with realistic weapons and try to sell them mass market.
Yeah, and people conjecturing that there's got to be media behind this. Like, they've got to be doing a new cartoon or something like that to really redo the looks like this, and that's definitely a strong possibility.
It could be planned, and they're not rolling it out yet because they don't want to spoil it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably something down the line.
Mafex, last one to the party here, finally announced their Mandalorian figure. And this is one, I always talk about that I try to buy one thing from each action figure line just to kind of get a feel for it and understand. And Mafex is something I do not have a Mafex figure at all. We get a comparison here between the Mafex and the SH Figure Arts version, which, Jesus, almost identical there. Again, it looks like they're taking pictures from a magazine or something here of the Mafex one. Accessories, pretty much what you would expect. And then I would assume it comes with the child, but it'll be fun. Like I say, what I love doing, because I don't buy this high-end stuff, is I just love waiting until Bobby Skullface gets it or somebody sends him a copy of it, that kind of thing. And hearing what people that do collect these high-end figures think of them, because I would get this and I'd be like, oh, this is amazing. And then I would have buyer's remorse because it's hard for me to think a 6-inch figure is $90 amazing kind of thing,
And then if you go to like an FYE store, they're like $115.
Oh, are they? Jesus.
Yeah, I wanted to get the John Wick one when I went to FYE, and I was looking at, and they have an incredible selection. They have all the reaction figures. You don't really see the NECA figures; are a little hard to find. And yeah, they carry them there, but they even upcharge them even more than usual.
Now, for us people that don't have an FYE, what exactly is that?
It is a pop culture store. It's mainly DVDs and music, but they also sell all the Funko stuff. But they also sell like the Funko cereal and different other things that you normally just don't find at like that section in Target where they have all the pop culture stuff. Like you'll find like the Bootios cereal from the WWE. You'll find like Garbage Pail Kids cereal and Funko Pops. I mean, Jesus, they must have like a wall of them.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, and T-shirts too, like pop culture kind of shirts. It's a nice store, but everything's unfortunately very, very overpriced.
Yeah. Well, it's only way a store like that can keep in business, right?
Yeah. Mall rents, you know what I mean? It's understood.
Do you do anything high? I mean, I guess you can consider Lego high end depending on how you collect it, but you do any high end collectibles, Mark?
No, although I have been looking at that Mafex John Wick character that obviously the Rock was talking about as a fan of the movie and stuff. I thought about grabbing one, but yeah, cost wise, it's, you know, you sort of look at it and go, it's a bit on the expensive side. Is it worth it? So it's a bit hard.
Yeah, I'm doing the Diamond Select John Wick, the all black suit version. Because it is actually, so their Bruce Lee and yellow jumpsuit was their like most articulated figure until this John Wick. This John Wick is going to be the most articulated Diamond Select figure ever. So I'm down for that. That Bruce Lee figure, I love it. I broke the leg off of my first one. I ordered another one, even knowing where the weak point was in it. It has a huge freaking stress mark in it, and I can't move its leg. So I'm hoping they fix that way. It's just the way they do this really weird. You know how normally a figure will have a, like say an old school vintage G.I. Joe figure has a T-bar at the crotch. So to add some extra articulation, they put that T-bar on its own hinge right in the middle. Well, it makes the bar going out to the hip super thin, and the tolerances are just all fucked up. So if anybody has that yellow jumpsuit Bruce Lee and hasn't opened it and plans on opening it, dude, just be super careful with God, I think it's the right leg. Left leg was fine. You know, tolerances were perfect. That right leg is just super tight. And that first one I got, I literally just tried to pull his leg forward like in a front kick, and it just snapped right off. So, all right. Where are we up next here? Jada Prime and Bumblebee. So we talked about this briefly, but and again, I'm not a big Jada fan. Some of the vehicles are cool, but it looks like they do a Jada cast if you're interested on YouTube. Looks like a live streaming kind of thing. Let's see. They confirmed the Optimus Prime will have light up eyes, limited articulation, of course, and it's going to come with interchangeable accessories, blaster and battle axe, and 2 different blasters for Bumblebee. So again, kind of cool if you're into that die cast, you know, kind of metal and effects. These are their larger ones, so about 4 inches on here, which doesn't sound very big, but they're pretty bulky figures. But more so, not my thing at all, but more so if it is your thing, hey, there's actually a Jada cast out there where they're reaching out with information on their stuff. Hasbro Pulse live stream. I'm actually excited about this. So they've been doing their fan Fridays or fan first Fridays. Next week, next Friday, they're going to do live stream on Facebook. They'll be sharing news about your favorite Star Wars figure lines. Plus, there might be a couple pre-orders as well. So that's kind of cool. I'll be watching those pre-orders.
Well, it's a good idea with all these Comic-Cons being canceled that they really can't make any announcements anywhere. So, or make it like a big thing. So, it's a good idea to do it on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. And people, you know, they've been doing this a few weeks now. This week's was a little lackluster. It was just a video of the photographer that took the photos of the Cosmic Ghost Rider, which is one of my favorite, like, non-4 franchises toy in a long time. So people were kind of like, oh, how cheesy is that? I'm like, people, man. I mean, you get something good, you get a couple announcements with some pre-orders, and then it's a video of somebody taking photos, and people start shitting on it. It's like, give me a break. You know, they can't put new figures up for pre-order every single week or anything like that, you know, but here we'll be getting some more. And here we go. Here's one for Mark. And Mark, I assume they do May the 4th down there, Lego promotions, like big thing?
Yeah. If you, it's the same old thing. You know, you order on May the 4th. They do some releases. They do have their special gifts that they give away for purchases and stuff like that. So mainly online, but there's only one Lego store around, or one or two around, that actually you can go in and do something. Obviously, we're still waiting on more to come to Australia, but.
And are they near you? Or are they in your town?
One's in another state. The other one is about a 45-minute drive. It's not too bad.
Yeah, even here, we have two of them here in Denver. One's 20 minutes from us, and the other one's 30 minutes from us. And we're kind of dead center in Denver. And so you can tell, like, one's way north and one's way south. So, but so of course, we already talked about the Ultimate Collector Series A-Wing. Mark, you're saying looks good, but not for you, right?
Well, this is it. So currently, obviously, with my collecting habits, I guess you could call it, I'm a bit more selective with what I'm getting. So as cool as this A-Wing is, it doesn't really fit with what I'm doing. So with the collection as a whole. So yeah. I don't want to keep falling down that rabbit hole of getting something of everything. So, I made that mistake before.
Yeah, and I'm just not a big Starship guy. Let's see. They're doing some kind of crazy giveaways. Again, check the show notes, openyourtoys.com, top of the page, if you want to see links to what we're talking about and actually do some research on your own. But they're going to be doing a sweepstakes for the prototype Boba Fett, which I am almost 100% positive I have this, but they were saying that it was only given out at 2010 Toy Fair and then some other Lego California's annual Star Wars days and stuff like that, Toy World in Australia. So I don't know. I could have swore I had that, but they're saying it's pretty rare, as well as a giveaway of the signed visual dictionary, which that visual dictionary is something I probably want. So we've seen the helmets. This DD or this DO just launched with it, which is kind of in that collector series. But of course, this is my favorite thing about May the 4th. Yeah, the mini diorama build. This thing looks great. Again, an A-Wing. I'm not too excited about that, but we've gotten most of the other ships and good dioramas. This thing is given away for a $75 purchase or more. So I love these things so much that I just figure out some way to spend $75 in Star Wars products on May the 4th. This year, I think I'm going to do the Stormtrooper helmet. I'm going to test these suckers out and see if I like them. I saw them in the store for the first time today, actually. And some good heft to them. You know, it's about 700 pieces on them.
Oh, look, they definitely. I mean, a lot of people are definitely divided on whether they're good or not. I reckon they look okay. Like, they'd look good just sitting on your desk or something like that, which is obviously their intended purpose is a display only. So, for that reason, they're not too bad.
Yeah, and my big thing, just like with Transformers, is it's the joy of playing with it, and in the case of Legos, it's the joy of the build, right? Like we literally just got done building Grayskull. Was it this morning or no, yesterday? We just finished it yesterday. And while that piece is amazing, oh my God, that build was so fucking boring, dude. Just walls upon walls upon walls. I mean, I meant to look at, because it has a piece count in the back. I meant to look how many like 1 cylinders there were and how many 1x2 bricks there were, because it's just walls of that everywhere, you know.
How many hours was that total build?
I think it was about 15 to 16 hours.
How many pieces do you have left over also?
Oh, it was actually surprising, because I've had bad experience with Mega Constructs. I've had like 3 or 4 sets where pieces were missing out of them and I had to order them. That's why I was really surprised. It probably has 150 extra pieces.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Because Ryan from Star Joe's is putting it together, and he told me he had some frustrations putting that together.
Yeah, it's like so I am normally a purist when it comes to Legos, and I tape up the box it comes in, and I dump it out all the bags into that box, and I build it like a puzzle, right? I got to hunt and peck for all the pieces. This one came with 54 bags. And I was just like, fuck no, I'm not going to do it. So I did it bag by bag, the way they instruct you to. And so it'd be 2 to 3 bags for every big milestone in the build. And for every 2 to 3 bags, there'd be anywhere from 5 to 20 extra pieces left over.
Wow.
That's quite a few, actually.
What?
That's quite a few parts. Like, obviously with a Lego set, you'll have like 3 or 4, little pieces left over. But to have that many, yeah,
and there's a couple unique pieces that they included a duplicate of, which I was really impressed. Like larger but very unique pieces. I mean, what I want to do, there's so many left over. I want to see if I can do like a little mini Grayskull that looks something like it. You know, that's how many extra pieces are left over.
Jeez.
But yeah, so May the 4th coming up. Again, they do double VIP points on May the 4th for Star Wars purchases. They usually discount some of the older sets too. So if there's a set like the one I'm hoping they put on sale and I'll get instead of the helmet is I want the Sith TIE Interceptor, that weird tie with the pointy wings and the red accents on it. That's one I'm hoping they put on sale. But we shall see.
Yeah, I was going to say, they do some good deals, I have to admit. So in the past, I've usually taken the most of it, so I'll be checking it out. I need to get my hands on a on that new UCS Falcon again, so I might have to see if
Oh
they got
yeah,
those in stock or not. Last time I checked,
yeah.
I don't think they did, so could be a bit tricky to find one.
And yeah, if you could score double VIP points on that, yeah. And what you could spend them on is the first ever non-digital thing. So they, for the first time ever, they've put a physical item that you can use your VIP points on besides store credit and that kind of shit. But so they have this little mini droid commander, which looks to be R2-D2, the little mouse droid. And then I think this is supposed to be one of the battle bots from the Solo movie, where they have that little battle bot fight when they find Lando. So this is kind of cool. I think this equates to $13 worth of points, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I only ever get VIP points on May the 4th, and I only spend them on May the 4th. Like each year, I earn them and then I spend them the next year because I normally buy most of my Lego stuff on sale. But you can get some bag charms. I have this Star Destroyer bag charm on my backpack, and I love it. Not a land speeder fan, but hey. So yeah, if you're a VIP member, take a look at lego.com, and they may have some new cool stuff you might be interested in. All right, third party, Newage does Newage. That's right. Every single figure that Newage puts out, they're going to put clear ones out, and we get a clear Brawn and a clear Outback here. So, yeah. I mean, the clear Insecticons, I could even feel a little bit because of that, you know, the scene from the 86 movie, but I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody out there that is like, I got to have them all, you know, and has a complete set of the clear Newage figures, but I just no interest in these. I would love that Brawn if it came by itself, but I don't need an Outback. So Mark, with new collecting habits, biting on this new Legends revolution in the Transformers collecting community?
I haven't gone down the Transformers hole yet, but I am gearing up to start checking a few things out. So
wow. And soon we've been talking, soon you will be caught up on all the reissues at least. So
yeah, which is good. I was looking at a few different reissues from years gone for a few figures that I want to get my hands on. But it's a matter now of looking at where do I go next? What do I want to look at? Do I just want to get a couple of sort of big masterpiece pieces, some third-party items, or do I just stay content with what I can find on shelves at the toy store? So,
or like
way
me, get
too
some
much.
Chinese KOs.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. MP Megatron and MP Prime, and I'm like, at this point, just get the KOs, man. You know, like you'll be happy with them. The KO MP44 looks pretty good, you know, but
plus the price difference has to be a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was telling you. I mean, I paid $80 for my MP Megatron, as opposed to the $230 or something was like the cheapest I ever saw him.
It's a no-brainer.
And I'm just like, yeah, I transformed him once and he's sitting on my shelf. Like, you know, I can't fucking support Takara Tomy and their pricing nowadays. It's just fucking ridiculous, dude. I mean, that Leo convoy being $185, and those Beast Wars masterpieces are considerably smaller than regular masterpieces, and still that price point. I'm just like, yeesh. I can't.
What's your opinion on Takara Tony? because I have some Takara Tonys.
Oh, I rock the Takara Tony all day, dude. My G2 side swipe, my wheel jack, G2 side swipe, my regular side swipe, my wheel jack, and my Bumblebee are all Takara Tony.
I didn't even realize I bought Takara Tonys until I'm looking at the box and I'm like, is this spelled wrong? I had no idea. And I bought, was it Frenzy? And I bought some of the cassettes before Walmart did the cassettes.
2-packs?
Yeah, I bought it. He came with the arms, like the pile driver arms and stuff. And I bought that before Walmart had the reissues. So when I got it, I was all excited. And I'm like, I look at the box and I'm like, wait a second. I don't think this is what I thought it was. I'm still happy with them. I thought they were great for the money. But yeah. It definitely threw me off Takara Tony.
Yeah, and you may be able to get them even cheaper there in Australia since you're a little bit closer to China than we are.
Yeah, I'll have to. I might have to go check them out. I can put them on display next to my Panasonic TV.
All right. Let's see. Next up, Generation Toys Magnus. So I really liked this thing as Prime. And now that it's the Great White Ape and it's the Magnus, I'm like, all right. I think they may have gotten me here. They've got that like dark chrome, which I really dig on stuff. Like I say, I really dug this when it was Prime, and I just couldn't pull the trigger on it. But now
it's got great articulation, that's for sure.
Yeah. Wow. Well, and I do dig when these companies do their own ideas. You know, like I don't constantly want knockoffs. I don't constantly want IP infringement, although this is IP infringement. But, this is their own design, their own thing they're doing. And I just think it looks dope. And now that it's one of my focus characters, not that Prime isn't, but I just get Prime burnout sometimes, I've had to say I only collect Prime when it's a blue and red Prime because I got sucked into the Nemesis Prime and, and the Gold Prime and all this kind of shit. I had to finally draw the line. Zeta puts out a metallic Bruticus. And this is looking really good too. So we get some upgraded stuff here. Upgraded combined mode headpiece with sound, light effects, and special detailing. Upgraded back cannons with missile launchers. Upgraded soft rubber rollable track for their uproar, which I assume that's the tank treads. And then upgraded LED headlights for the racket, and I assume that's the Swindle SUV figure. So this will all come as a gift set, and I've really dug this Zeta Bruticus, and I'm not sure if I've even missed the boat on it. It just came at a time where couldn't spend $400 to $500 on a toy.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but it looks good.
Yeah.
You get some complaints that it's more realistic vehicles or different vehicles. Swindle was a Jeep, now he's a Humvee. This helicopter is different than the original G1 helicopter. But I'm not a huge fan of the metallic paints either. I know Fans Toys does it on a lot of their stuff, but it looks amazing, I don't know.
Doesn't like the metallics and stuff tend to like wear off a lot easier as well, though?
That's what I was kind of thinking, and I don't know if this is kind of a new age of metallic paint. But yeah, I mean because it's not chrome, it's just shiny paint. So I don't know if it's just done well, because my assumption is if it did, we would hear people bitching about Fans Toys, because Fans Toys, does that metallic paint on quite a bit of their figures. So,
well, hopefully if it holds up. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it looks pretty good, but my always thing was with the chromes and stuff, because it tended to be a bit more brittle and wear a bit quicker. It's like when you're spending that kind of money, you don't want the paint falling off after a few months or so,
Yeah, shit. Yeah, that's for sure. And Zeta's untested with that, metallic paint too. At least Fans Toys sounds like it's been tested and been fine. I just want to comment. I just want to comment on this San Diego Comic-Con Soundwave with 4 tapes. This thing used to go for like $200, and I think the reissues has just killed the market on that, because it comes with 4 different tapes. It's the original G1 mold. Anywho, all right. Next up, moving right along here, we get a store report. Walmarts are clearancing Jabba's palace. People are finding this thing for as low as $13. And then you have douchebags like this that, hey, look, I just bought 10 of them.
This is what I really can't stand about Walmart. This is why me and Walmart don't get along. It goes from an item you can't find anywhere to then they finally make it available and you're willing to pay full retail. And then they stick up your ass and they blow it out on clearance, and every store's got tons of them.
Yeah.
Like that $80 the TIE Fighter. They can also stick that up their ass.
Yeah, because I almost bought that. I saw it on clearance for $30, and I was so close, but they still had like 20 of them. And I was like, no, I'll just wait. And then, of course, it was like, I guess that was like the magic price point, because they were just gone.
Yeah,
the next
they
time I was
marked
there.
it down even more, and then some guy like this goes and buys them.
Yeah, because this is crazy. This comes with 2 carded vintage collection figures that are in the main line. Like if you're like me, the vintage collection, I have a complete collection of the original vintage. Like, they've put out all the prequels and sequel trilogy on those, and I don't care about those. If it has a matching version from the original vintage line, then I collect it. And it's got 2 of them.
It's crazy to think that last year when I was at Baltimore Comic-Con in October, this thing was going for like $100.
Yeah.
And then my wife got me 2 for Christmas, and she paid like $40. So it's amazing to think like just how a few months. I mean, October, it might seem like a long time ago. It was only 6 months ago.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Amazing how the fluctuation. That's one thing about modern toys that pisses me off. The fluctuation in the store prices like that.
Well, yeah, and you just never fucking know.
No.
And I'm such a buy it the first time I see it, and it really does seem like, man, it hits 3 months in 1 week, and that's when they clearance it, like 1 week after the people that bought it right at the beginning can't return it anymore. That's when they'll start clearancing it.
But it's even like the Walmart Astro Train. That was $50 on eBay. I couldn't find it in stores. Then finally the price came down a little bit. I think I got it for like $37 shipped, which I was very happy with that price.
Yeah,
and now you're seeing them. I see people on eBay dumping them like $30 shipped.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I haven't seen that. Like I say, I found one for Mark and I at 40, and that's all I've seen.
Oh, yeah, the prices come down on that thing now.
Well, shit, Mark. Sorry.
That's all good,
man. And also, now people won't be able to get to this because this is, unless you join this group, it's called Cassette Transformers. It's basically just like what it sounds. Cassette enthusiasts finding the Soundwave at $13 fucking dollars.
That's a steal.
Yeah.
I would even open it for $13.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And you know what's funny is I didn't, because I found
I got 2 of them over here. I still would open one.
So
as soon as mine arrived, I ripped that sucker open. I had to play with it. It's a cool
and
toy.
I was gonna ask before when we were talking about your shipment on the way. I didn't know if you were opening these reissues that I'm sending you or not.
Oh yeah, those suckers are getting opened up. Don't worry about that.
Oh, nice. Well, that's good. I like that.
That's what they're for. They're for to be played with.
Okay, yeah. Peter.
Well, see, so I'll tell you this much. If I already have one from some other means, like I have a Soundwave, which is that SDCC one. So I only bought myself a Soundwave to keep carded in the reissue box.
Makes sense.
The mini bots, I have all of those to open except for Gears. And then I bought not an extra, but I bought a Bumblebee to open because he has the G1 face on him, which the vintage didn't. So if I don't have an opener of it, I've bought an extra one. But I bought the Devastator gift set and it's not getting opened because I bought the Takara reissue from like 6 years ago or something. But so yeah, at $13, yes, I will get one just for the fuck of it because that's what I pay for a fucking Star Wars 3 3/4.
Yeah, figure. That's an incredible price.
So,
oh man.
But again, not doing toy runs, and I go to my one Walmart for my pseudo essential shopping, my ramen and bread, that kind of shit, and then I go check the toy aisle. But mine doesn't. I mean, shit. Mine literally only has one boy toy aisle now. It has one boy toy aisle. It has one aisle shares Legos and board games. Then there's a girl aisle, and then there's a like toddler aisle, and that's it. My Walmart has 4 aisles, and that's it. So fuck my Walmart.
so much for them adding aisles after Toys R Us closed, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mine didn't
get expanded by 25%.
Yeah. Let's see. 40th Empire Strike Back Endcaps at Target. So we talked about last week that Walmart had gotten their Endcaps in, and I didn't realize that is the wave 3 of the Black Series, which has Kylo Ren's, what do they call them? The Knights of Ren Black Series figure. And I do want that. They were kind of a Captain Phasma in the latest movie. Spoilers. But I still want one. But here's what Target's looks like. And mine had 3 of these three of the TIE Fighter pilot helmets, 2 stormtroopers, 1 DO, like a hat, a lunchbox, and a glass. Like all these Funkos were gone. All of the Boba Fett's were gone. All of the carded Black Series were gone. Like the one I went to today was like completely cleaned out. Hi.
I almost want to shed a tear. I haven't been in Target in weeks. And there's nobody.
There's Mrs. McFavorite.
Hey, Jessica. And nobody's wearing it. And you don't see people wearing
cheers.
masks.
Hello.
Yeah, social distancing, babe. 6 feet, bro.
If only.
Feels weird seeing a Target without anybody wearing a gas mask in there.
Cheers, baby. Yeah. The Target was one of the better stores I've gone to because I kind of make a mental note of everywhere I go to, like what percentage of people are wearing masks. And this Target I went to, most of the people were wearing masks.
You must have went to the fancy Target. You went to Target then. That's where I shop, Target.
And then speaking of Target, it's doing so it wouldn't be a buffet. Yeah, so it'd be a Risay Target's doing a reset here. So starting next week, they're going to be resetting, and this is, of course, from a Star Wars site, so they have kind of the in on that. But it looks like all the old Black Series 6-inch and vintage collection are going away, the DPCIs at least there, and they're going to make 2 new assortments. So this sucks for returners like me, because that means I can't buy and return older figures, buy newer figures and return older figures. But hey, so is the life of a retail fraud person.
Just go to Canada and do it.
But looks like the probe droid, so the new deluxe Black Series probe droid, is going to get a permanent spot in the aisle. I still have not seen that in person anywhere. There's been sightings, but I've never seen it. Empire Strikes Back, it looks like that 40th anniversary line, and I think this is probably both for Walmart and Target, is just going to be like the end cap, and then it's done. I don't think there's going to be a ton of reorders on those. So just like the original, the 12 back line, I think that's going to jump up in price real quick on that secondary market. And then the stupid Moloch that I saw him as low as $15. Really cool looking figure. I just can't. I have no place for it. I don't care about it that much. It'll still be part of the reset. They're unwilling to give up on that exclusive. Now, Mark, so we get all these exclusives here between Target and Walmart and that kind of stuff. I mean, if you just had to give us a rough number, I mean, how many of these exclusives do you see down there? Do you see 90% of them? Do you see 50% of them? Do you see 10% of these?
I'll be honest with you. I don't see any of them, but I don't go hunting on a regular basis either. Like I'll flick through a Target down here, maybe, once every month or so.
Okay.
And most of the shopping that I do, to be honest with you, is all online anyway, because of the fact that I don't want to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning to be down there before all the collectors get in there. I've watched the behaviour of some of these people, and I just I look at what these guys do. No, and it's like the general attitude of them and the way they are. Even if there's kids there as well, you literally watch them shoving people out of the way, and I just don't have time for that. Like if I find something in the store, great, but 9 times out of 10 now, most of my shopping I do online. So
now, so outside of being able to find them, so you have Targets down there, it sounded like, right?
Yes, we do, yeah.
And do you have Walmarts as well?
No Walmarts. So the big stores.
Big W. Isn't Big W the same as Walmart?
Yeah.
And what about pop culture? I heard from John Vanover from Action Figure Blues. I hear those guys from Australia always talk about that pop culture store.
There are ones there. There's again where I am. We've got a place called Zing, which is an offshoot of
maybe that's
EV
what it
Games.
is.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that would be a place. But again, the ones that are sort of close to me are 90% pop vinyl figures and high-end statues and stuff. Like there's not where I am. Not a lot of other things there. They do get stuff through occasionally, but the pricing on it is ridiculous. So
kind of like your FYE, I assume.
I guess, yeah. So, I mean, if you go into like a Target down here or a Kmart or a Big W, if you're looking for those new Transformers and stuff, they're like $80.
Well, I guess the exchange rate probably doesn't help either.
Oh, at the moment, I probably wouldn't know. I mean, it's ridiculous at the moment. But again, like I can find a lot of stuff online cheaper, even with shipping. Sometimes in some cases, it's cheaper to get it out of the States than it is to buy it off a shelf sitting here.
Wow!
Like I've seen stuff here sitting on a shelf for like $200, and then I can buy it online and ship it for $170. So I'm only a few bucks cheaper, but it's still a few bucks cheaper for lack of inconvenience.
Yeah, and I could definitely see that being the case, where I would just do the hunt. I mean, do you have anything like, so we have BBTS and TF Source where they do these like stacking shit or pile of loot, like where you can keep ordering and then they'll ship you one big box, kind of like what we've been doing, right? Like as shit comes out, I get it for you, and then granted, that one big box is ridiculous, like $120 to ship to you. But do you have any like access to collectible stores like that or anything?
Look, again, I'm probably the wrong person to ask because, again, as my as my Instagram thing is, I am definitely the no ID collector. I go to places that I know. So, for instance, online. Big Bad Toy Store, places like that. Yes, that does help having that pile of loot because it does make it a little easier to get things. Actually, Rock put me to a site to get the Ghostbusters figures, which I've pre-ordered through them. I've never used that site before, but shipping was really cheap.
And that place from the UK, isn't it? That website?
Yeah, it was from the UK. And I think shipping worked out for all 6 figures was like $10 or $15 altogether.
Yeah, because I knew even if I found those figures for you at cost, those are big carded figures. If we get them mailed to you nicely, oh my God, I couldn't imagine what it would cost me to ship them to you.
Well, yeah, I just sent them a box, and granted, it's a good size, it's a good amount of figures. Like you distribute it over it, but like even American retail is about $500 worth of stuff, and the shipping was $120. So he's literally paying over 20% just in shipping, so.
And what about like a GST when he gets it? Does he have to pay? Do you have to pay any kind of tax on it, Mark? Imports or duty?
Look,
you said
at
duty.
This stage. At this stage, I haven't had to pay any extra once things have come in. But again, that stuff changes all the time. So, like the last box that Jason sent me actually had a sticker on it to say that it was opened at customs. So, but there was no other additional charges or costs involved. So it was delivered, and yeah.
Do you have to mark it as a gift, or do you write? Because obviously they check it.
I mark it as a gift, but okay. I declare the value. Like the last box I sent him was $300, and this one was $500. I declared that value, so fingers crossed that I didn't fuck you up by put it. You just never know. Maybe $499 and below is tax free, and then I mark something as $500, and they're going to hit you with 20% more or something.
Well, I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, it should be there this week. So,
I hope so. A nice little box of goodness coming. So I've got a few parcels coming through. So it's going to be a good couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah. All right. Online Hot Toys Mando Scout and Bike. So you can get just the Scout Trooper, or you can get the Scout Trooper with the bike, which is kind of the snow deco, I call it. This came with the BMF. I guess it wouldn't be a BMF. It'd be a BAT, the big AT-AT. Came with like this snow decoed speeder.
That looks incredible.
Yeah, so I got the Remnant Stormtrooper, and granted, it's the 3 3/4 one. The dirt deco on it is awful, and I've just kind of realized, like, and I shouldn't say I just realized. I've always kind of known I don't like realistic, like used deco. Like when I buy a Stormtrooper, I want him to be pristine white. And same thing goes with this. Now, again, this is supposed to be like some, like long ago used trooper armor and that kind of shit. But
looks amazing. I don't have any sideshow. I'm afraid to go down that road because, I'll just go absolutely broke. But wow, it looks incredible.
Yeah.
I love it. Wow.
The child looks great here that you get with it.
Yeah, my mind's blown right now looking at that.
Oh, it's definitely an impressive piece, that's for sure.
Yeah. And again, this is like, man, Scout Troopers and speeder bikes are like I would say outside of like Tauntauns and Wampas, like this is probably my second most favorite thing in the Star Wars universe is speeder bikes and Scout Troopers. And I still just, nope, not.
Yeah, the detail.
And I got my stimulus check. I got my stimulus check already, and I'm like,
it's burning a hole in your pocket.
I could.
Maybe buy two then. You can't just get one. And you're recreating that scene. There's two of them.
Yeah, exactly.
So you still have money left over.
Yeah, the Miss McFavor and I were nice. So normally Mackenzie gets $100 from her grandpa, my stepdad or my ex-stepdad. My mom passed away, so I just consider him my dad and her grandpa. So he gives her $100 every birthday and every Christmas. This is for a 7-year-old kid. So we used to take all of it but 20 and put it in a college fund for her. So then we kind of felt bad, and so we said, okay, you get $5 for every year you're alive. So this year she gets $35 of that money. Next year she'll get $40 of that money. So she's never gotten $100. Again, and we're talking a 7-year-old. I can't remember the first time I got $100 to myself, but that's what we did since we got the stimulus. We're like, here you go. Here's $100. You can spend this however you want. You can blow it all on one thing. You can buy an LOL house or, whatever, or you can save it and be able to buy what you want throughout the year. And she's done really good. She's bought one thing so far in the last week since we got it.
All right, hold up a second. You what a beak. You gave her 100 of the 500. Did she say, "Hey, pops, what about the other 4 bills?"
We did tell her about that. That 400 gets split across me and Mrs. McFavor for having to put up with schooling her for 2 months.
My son said the same thing to me. I give him $25 a week allowance, but I hate to say it, he does nothing to earn the $25 a week.
Oh God, she will not get an allowance until she is like checking off chores on a chore board. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, because I used to do like on Friday, we used to go get pizza. We'd go to Target or go to Toys R Us. He'd pick out a Lego set or G.I. Joe back when that was, in that age group. But now when he's just buying online video games, we just get him like a Steam card. But his allowance just builds up and builds up and builds up. He doesn't buy anything. My idea of the allowance was once I start giving him his own money, he'll not piss it away as much on things, and he's been pretty good with it. So hopefully she'll be pretty wise with the money as well.
She does good. She saves her money. Like we gave her so at Christmas she was 7 years old, so she got $35. She still had 20 of that. What is it? 5 months later.
Wow.
So
that's great.
Yeah. No, she does good. And it's crazy because, Dad, I'm like, oh, what about this? What about that? And she's like, no, I'm going to save my money. So we were both really interested to see what she did. If we're just like, here's $100, And
my son would do that too. He'd be like, are you paying for it with your money or my money?
Yeah.
If it's your money, I'll get it. But if it's my money, I'll wait.
Dude, we'll go to McDonald's because We don't eat too much at McDonald's. Jessica won't eat at McDonald's at all. I still get something every once in a while, but she loves Happy Meals. So when we get a good dinner, she would rather have a Happy Meal. So we go and get that, and she'll do that exact same thing. She's like, now, am I paying for my Happy Meal or are you paying for it?
I got the $4. We're good. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of the $8 for a kid's meal at Texas Roadhouse, All right. Siege 2-packs restocking. So this is kind of important to me because you know me, I got to collect these cassettes. So I never saw this Rat Bat, and I'm going to call him Frenzy because that's how I see him. I never got this Rat Bat or Frenzy 2-pack. And so I had started looking at the secondary market. And again, this is a $10 pack. It goes for $20 right now on the secondary market. So not ridiculous, but I just fucking cannot pay over retail. But it looks like Entertainment Earth is getting these in both on their site and on the wholesale site. Again, I don't want to buy 8 packs of these with my wholesale account, but hopefully that means they'll be showing up on BBTS or TF Source, some of the other people that buy from Entertainment Earth on a regular basis. So if you're in the same boat as me, wanting to get these Siege cassettes and haven't seen them, hopefully they'll be showing up on online retailers for, less than fucking secondary market prices. All right, we're on to what we got. Rock, what you got?
All right, let me spin around for a minute. I had some good stuff. I wasn't on last week, so I got in. This is pretty cool.
I love that you're pulling it off the peg. That's awesome.
This is Cinder Sword D1 mint on card Transformer. I've had some time. I hate to say it, I got a lot of money burned a hole in my PayPal account, and this thing popped up, and the price was pretty reasonable. The bubble's lifting just slightly. The glue's coming.
Now this is original. This ain't a China special.
Yeah, no, they don't have this one as a KO.
But, yeah, I was gonna say I've never seen a KO of it.
But you know what? I paid $45 for this.
Nice.
Loose, this figure's paid this $45. So I was very happy with that. Now, when we're going to talk about some good old Chinese KOs, basically now I gotten so much into Transformers. This is what I'm doing. I want one of each body style of vehicle. So, like, I want one of the Lamborghini. I want one of the race car. So I didn't have Hound. So I got a G1 KO Hound.
And what'd you pay for that, if you don't mind?
I got that for $47 shipped, and nice. This was a steal. This one, Grimlock was. I'm trying to get it without a glare. Grimlock was one of the few G1 Transformers I actually had. I got this from the same seller, and it was $27.99 shipped.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, he made it in like a styrofoam coffin. What he basically did was, because these normally come all bent and messed up, he built the styrofoam so that this went in flush. And it was kind of like an Omaha Steaks container. And this guy must have used a half a roll of tape packaging this thing up. I do have a bunch of KOs coming. I have, there'll be spoilers. But yeah, I have a Jazz, a Blue Streak, Shockwave, a Mirage. I have a bunch.
Wow, yeah, you're going full blown KO.
I sold so many, but this is a nice vintage Ghostbuster piece. So you know how I bought Hordak's slime pit because I wanted that sealed Motu slime. Well, you got to get a sealed Ghostbuster slime.
Oh shit, nice.
And you know what? This is another one. Like, I tell you what, people are selling stuff on eBay. I got a deal on this. I paid $50 for this.
Nice.
The slime container alone, empty, sells for $45.
Jesus, crazy.
Yeah, the only thing that bothers me is the slime it's facing the wrong way. So I spent like a half hour trying to shake it, trying to spin it around. But the problem is, you guys know how these Kenner bubbles are. The bubble's a little yellow, has no cracks in it. I'm afraid that if I shake it too much, I'm gonna crack it. So the seller, they were a vintage store, like an estate kind of store in California. They had multiples of these, and it was like a 3-pack of Ghost. I got outbid. I tried to buy a second one, and I got outbid. I bid $65, and somebody else came in like 66 last second. But they had some. They must have somehow found a case of these figures. But what scared me was the back is different than the other ones, where they're normally shiny texture. For some reason, this one with the slime is a more paper, unglossy
like
texture.
a matte. Yeah.
Yeah. But I compared it to other listings on eBay, and they match up. But that's let me see. Let me look. Yeah, that's everything for now. The other stuff's coming. The other stuff's on the slow boat. The other stuff's coming like Speed Pack or whatever it is from China. So that'll be in the next few weeks.
Oh yeah, some nice gets there, man.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks worth. So let me double check before I look around. Yeah, that's everything.
All right, let's see. Mark, what about you? Did you get anything in recently that you're especially proud of, or want to talk about?
I've had quite a few things come in, actually. So, apart from the box of goodies coming from your good self, I've got a few other things that are en route to me at the moment. But I've been on a bit of a Lego thing of late. So I've picked up a few Star Wars sets, a few other little bits and pieces, some of those Speed Champion sets, the new ones that just came out, which are pretty cool. A lot of comics coming through now. Finally, now that we're not getting any new stuff, I've been hitting a lot of my back issue places and stuff like that, and just stocking up on a few things. So, what else? It's really it at the moment. I've got a few pre-orders on, which is good. So obviously, when they come out, I'll be able to chat about those a little bit more once they're released.
Hey, Mark, what about that? What about that big score of Legos that you got?
Oh yes, that was obviously yourself and Jason are aware of the story. I had a guy I work with was cleaning out the house, and I decided to give him a hand since I've got all this extra time on my hands at the moment. And he had throwing out a lot of toys, Legos, stuff like that. And I said to him, "Oh, it's all just going in the bin." He goes, "Yep, it's all going down the tip."
Which is the dump for us Americans.
Yeah, sorry for you guys. Yeah, the dump.
The Irish guys used to call this skip. Well, so I knew tip and a skip I figured it would be similar.
And yeah, so he just said, "Look, if you want it, take it." He didn't really care. So I started. There's a couple of big containers, quite a lot more than I thought. And if the instructions are anything to go by, there's over 200 sets in there. So I've the last couple of weeks I've spent just sorting it out. So I've broken down quite a bit of it. Still got a bit to go though. So, but it ranges from there's city stuff, there's some Star Wars stuff, all the Ninja Turtle sets here, except for the ones based off the movies. So it's just the animated stuff.
But it's fairly recent toys then.
Oh yeah, some of this stuff only goes back over the last 5-6 years, maybe 7 years.
Can't believe people are just going to leave that to throw it out.
Well, look, I'll be honest with you. I sort of felt a bit bad just taking it, and I said to him, "Look, I can give you some cash for it." This was after I realised what he had, and he's like, "No," he goes, "It was all just going to go in the bin." So he goes, he goes, "If you can do something with it, by all means." So, it was good. Normally, when someone says, "Oh, I'm throwing this out," and you say, "Oh, do you mind if I take it?" They've gone, "Why?" And the minute you say, "Oh, I like Lego or I collect it," all of a sudden now it becomes valuable.
Yeah.
So, different story if they say, "Oh, what do you think?" and you can offer them some cash. But if they're telling you they're throwing it out, then I always look at that as, well, if you're throwing it out, you know, obviously you don't have any value in it. But all of a sudden, as soon as you say, "Oh, I'm into Lego," I'll take it off your hands if you're going to throw it out. Oh, okay, you can have it for $300. It's like all of a sudden that rubbish is valuable.
At least it's going to a good home. We know how much of a Lego fan you are, so you know what? That's awesome that you got it. I'm glad you got it.
It's it is. I mean, obviously, a lot of people probably question it, but it does get cleaned first. I don't just rip into things, so none of that stuff just comes out of a box. It's all been through the dishwasher a couple of times, so it's all been cleaned, and now it's onto the fun sorting stage.
I can imagine. Yeah. Mark hit me up with like, what do you think? Asking some ethical questions about that, and I think that'll be. I didn't even check, so I posted this up and then went and had a family fun day. Did anyone, Rock? Did you see anyone posting like discussion questions or anything?
You know what? I was busy doing yard work in the rain today, so I really don't know. I haven't checked, to be honest with you. Let
me look, because if not, I think that's a great discussion topic. Because Mark poised that to me as kind of an ethical question. What do you do? He went there helping a friend out of the goodness of his heart, like help this guy clean out his house and go drop stuff off at the dump and that kind of stuff. And it just happened to be that he was throwing away some of this stuff. And I'm right there with you, Mark. Like, as soon as you say, "Oh, I'm a Star Wars fan," and they say, "Oh, is this worth anything?" And it's kind of like, what? It wasn't worth anything to you 2 minutes ago, was it? You just wanted me to throw it away. And it's kind of that weird thing of, there's lots of times where I've helped people out cleaning out their house. And I think the even worse part of it, the like inverse and worse side of this, is when people want to call you over to help them to try to figure out, if any of their junk is worth any money. Like, "Oh, you're a pop culture guy. Is any of this shit and all these dusty boxes worth any money?" And I don't mind helping people out, but I don't want to fucking spend a day going through it's like Taco Bell cups and Happy Meal toys, and
Power the Force Star Wars figures.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be worth thousands.
Yeah.
My typical response when I get those questions is, it's only worth what someone wants to pay for it. And if you want to chuck it up, like, I'll give them some, like, I'll just tell them, if you're going to sell it, just do it all as one thing. Don't break everything up, and just, if it's been sitting there for so long, or you're not sure what it's worth, if you get $5, you've come out in front, haven't you? So, I typically, if they've got like a lot of different stuff, I'll just say, bundle everything together, chuck it up on eBay, see how you go.
Yeah, my main thing is and luckily I haven't had to get to this point yet, but I'm almost there, is fucking put shit up on eBay for 99 cents. Put a good title on it. Fuck the description. No one searches descriptions anymore. Put a good title on it. And if it's worth something, you'll get bids. And if not, you don't put 99 cents in free shipping, or you're going to lose fucking money. You put 99 cents and whatever the shipping is. And then if people fucking want it, then hey, you made some money. If they don't, it's going to cost you 70, you're going to get 75 cents to have to box all this shit up and send it to somebody,
See, my eBay philosophy is the complete opposite. I refuse to do auctions anymore. All my stuff is buy it now with an offer, but if you lowball me, I will block you. Or I'll argue with you. I cannot stand lowballers. I've had to go back in and change all my because eBay automatically, if you put it up for $30, they want to do a best offer above 15. So I have to automatically go back and change it to maybe like 20. But I can't stand if you put up an auction for 99 cents and you get like 2 bids, people that are interested, and then at the end maybe they'll bid up. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. I'm to buy it now only kind of guy.
Yeah, and I literally I'll do it, buy it now, and I set my auto decline to what I want. So I just don't even, and it's crazy to go in there and be like, you've had 37 offers, for fucking something, and I'll take 20% less than what I posted it for, but 37 offers for more than 20% less than what you posted it for.
Well, that's why I noticed everybody starts off at 50% now. They start there.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you. I'm not giving it away. I'm not desperate. I'm not living in a Maytag refrigerator box. I'm selling shit because I'm not putting it up in my display. I'm not giving it away because I can't pay my bills this month. So that's the part of eBay where I'm kind of I've separated myself now where the best offer is I hate having to go back and change everything, but that's what I've been doing.
But you're selling some good shit. Like I have Black Series figures at like $10 on my Facebook page that won't sell. So what do you do with those? I don't fucking want them anymore.
I just sold that Ray Stantz Ghostbuster figures mint on card. I sold it best offer for $249. I sold one a month and a half before for $339. How did I could not sell it for $279 not even 2 months later. I happened to get lucky and get one really cheap. So I put it back up there and make a few dollars on it. But I could not believe how the market has changed within 6 weeks that something I got $339, I could barely get $249 for.
Well, it's people like me, man. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's a KO, a reissue, or a vintage. It all looks the same on my fucking shelf. A reissue looks even better because it's clean and a perfect bubble. And
that's the worst part. The one I sold for $249 was in better condition than the one I sold for $339. There's no rhyme or reason. But I guess right now it's different. I know it's two different things. I see people buying it for my full buy it now when they're not even trying to offer because people got their flush with stimulus cash and they're probably working. And I do get people negotiate a little bit, but I do appreciate when people buy it now and they don't even try it. And I have a best offer because I've been getting a lot of people doing that lately.
Yeah.
I sold, I think, $700 worth of G.I. Joes in the last couple of weeks.
Nice.
So people are buying those movie figures.
I've just been fucking mad busy. I need to pay some more attention to my sell list and add some shit there. As far as what I got in, what's today's date? It's crazy that it's only been a week since we recorded one of these.
Oh, you guys recorded Monday. That's right.
Yeah.
I got stuck working late Monday.
Yeah. Boo rock.
Notice it's been raining so much, so we try to stay out late when it's sunny. Got to make hay,
Exactly. So I got the Black Series Sith Jump Trooper. That was part of the oh shit, I think I even talked about that on the last one.
It was from the end cap.
Yeah, from the end cap when I got the retro collection and the whole TESB carded Black Series figures. Something I did get in the mail from past host and friend Mike Lyons, a Swage for you that are in the know. He sent me a bunch of non-Nef weapons. So the big thing I wanted was the weapons for all of the Legends clone. Well, they're not Legends. Anyways, the clone figures, the Autobot and Decepticon clones. So that was the big thing I was after. But we also did, he put out a set for just Legends figures. So there's like the cannon for Braun. there's the gun for Bumblebee, and then we couldn't figure out what the other gun was for. But and I really dug those, even though there's some discoloring with age. It looks like they're glued together. So he does these 3D parts, but they're actually produced by a factory. So they're like ABS plastic. And when they glued them together, you can see some discoloration. Probably nothing I can't take off with some magic eraser and a little bit of elbow grease. And he gave me a great deal. But I was so happy with those. I ordered some of the sets that Non-Neff has on his site right now. And here, we can actually take a look at these. Let me set this up here and do a quick search. So I got the Nightbird set. Oh, yeah, there's new stuff. This wasn't here previously. I got the Nightbird set and the G2 Sideswipe set. So let's start off with the bad. So this Nightbird set, this is the full set, which is actually it is only $8. So it comes with is there a way to blow this up? Can I get this any bigger? No, I guess not. This comes with essentially her lightsaber, her size, a nunchucks, and 2 throwing stars. Here, this is probably a better picture of it. And then includes these 5mm peg adapters, so you can put this stuff in there. Nunchucks were great. Everything holding it is great. What drives me absolutely insane is these little like pegs that he made to hold the accessories, like on the forearms and on the back. The fucking tolerances are all fucked up, and it can barely fit in there. I've had to shove them in to I kind of set mine up the same way he has his here. Wish I could make this bigger, but you can see the size on the forearms and stuff. His shit worked in her hands fine, but his shit did not work with his other stuff, like hardly at all. Like it's barely shoved in there. So I got a little pissed off at that. So then next I started playing with the G2 Sideswipe. So this was part of the Amazon exclusive set of figures. And here's everything it comes with. So you get the bandolier, big swords, you get the spiked tires on the shoulders, and then you get the engine guns. Now everything fit perfect. Now there's only 2 things that have to play with one another here. The spike tires and the gun and its little holder, but those fit perfect. The bandolier worked really well for what it was. It just pegs into a peg on his shoulder and then wraps around his waist. So I don't know, I like mixed emotions. Like the guns that I got from Swage were great, except for, a little bit discoloration on the glue points. The Blackbird set was great in her hands, but anytime you had to use the pegs, nothing really fit. And then this set was great. So kind of a mixed bag, but it was fun. Nightbird, I've loved Nightbird from when I first saw her as a kid. I have every I talked about it on the last show. I have every Nightbird except for the fucking Iron Factory one. I've put a search out on eBay. There's no sold listings or anything like that. So that one may be a lost cause, but so if you're watching in this, Nightbird set is an easy pass unless you're literally just going to jam all that stuff in her and never touch her again. But the G2 Sideswipe was a really good set.
it started getting a little sexual. You're like, I can't jam that shit in her. It's too big. I was like, whoa, we talking about Transformers or something else right now?
And I did it late night in my bed.
Whoa. His shit was so big it wouldn't fit in her hand. And I was like, whoa. I think of like two. That's what's good when YouTube comes in. Like two-handed. Oh, now we're gonna get pulled from YouTube. That's not like what's a visual podcast now. Now you can make those jokes visually as well. Next is gonna be like this, like the full measure with the forearm. Like, whoa.
Yeah, doing this weekly with the coronavirus. Yeah, and last week I probably bought $300 worth of stuff. This week was $20 worth of stuff. So,
well, you kind of need to balance it out. I mean, you really can't spend $300 every week. It's kind of feast or famine sometimes.
I got my stimulus check, so bring it on. I'm now looking at doing the 3-pack for the Spawn Kickstarter. That Spawn Kickstarter, man, woo! It's
just hit $2
million now. I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, my buddy Travis, he just bought all 3. He bought all 3. He only wants the artist one.
Oh, really?
His idea is he wants to sell the other 2. But now he's kind of worried that it's sold so many of them that so many people are getting in on the Kickstarter that maybe he's a little bit worried that might not be able to sell them down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because now he's released all these weird, and I get it. It's dope the way he's doing it. It's dope that he's making sure that the money goes into the Kickstarter instead of the backer kit. But yeah, he released like 12 different pledge levels. Like, you want a trilogy pack plus 1 classic, a trilogy pack plus 2 classics, he did this really weird, tiered system. And I'm just like, what other companies have done before, and small independent companies, was like, hey, here's what they're going to cost in the backer kit. Pay for them now so we can unlock goals during the Kickstarter. But, say you wanted 1 figure, they're like, pay for 3 figures now. And then when the backer kit comes along, that's just how much extra funds you'll have to apply to extra purchases. He's trying to develop every possible combination that somebody might want to buy. A 3-pack and 1 artist, or 2 classic and 1 modern, and all these weird combinations. But
I still can't believe he paid $1 million for that Mark McGuire 70th home run ball, and he's probably, God knows what it's worth now.
What drove me nuts is that he's charging $40 for his signature plate to go with. You can get a regular figure for $40 or get one with a signature plate for $80. Right when he bought that Mark McGuire ball, we were out in Arizona, and we went to his stores. He has or at least at the time, this was 15 years ago or whatever it was, 12 years ago.
When those sports figures were huge, right?
Yeah, and he has his own stores. He has his own McFarland stores, and half the shit in the stores were signed. And it wasn't any extra or anything like that. So I think this dude just likes sitting around signing his name. And
that's kind of like Kevin Smith. I go to his comic book store, and he'll sign a ton of stuff that's in the store, but it's the same thing like you're saying. There's no overage charge. If it's a comic book he signed, it's a $4 comic book still.
Yeah.
But it's signed by him. So you're not really overpaying, but I remember when those figures came out, those sport figures were incredible. And they had the variants and the chase, and look for the one with the other jersey and the mud variant, and good times. I love those figures. Back when I followed sports.
All right. Well, I would say we're running a little bit long here. We talked about an hour and a half stop point. We're going to get into grab bag, but I would say we've had some good discussion points, right?
Yeah.
Talked about exclusives down under. We've talked about KOs, that kind of shit. Grab bag. This was from Rock himself, Regal Robot Desk. So this is this is actually from the Regal Robot page, but so yeah, you can get these desks that look, dude, the helmet and the light like that.
And he makes some Tom Spina designs, makes some incredible stuff, man.
So this is it's something you can buy, but it's custom. They say if you're interested in this, contact us. And it sounds like they'll kind of build it to order to whatever space you have. You were telling me here, why don't you tell them about what you were telling me about, and I'll get over to their page and see if we can find it.
Well, basically, Tom Spina is known as he got hired by Lucasfilm to go into their archives, get the actual original props of the Cantina aliens, and fix them. He was also hired to make before, I'm not sure if it was The Force Awakens, but they basically made 20 or 100 full Chewbacca's that they had the mask, they redid the fur, and for different premieres, those were there, and I think they were given away or something like that. But he's basically known that he's been restoring all the original props from Lucas's archives. He lives on Long Island. I met him at our local EternalCon. He was selling a table from Empire Strikes Back when the Millennium Falcon was escaping that worm, and it's like a $6,000 table.
Yeah, here's that table.
Yeah, he makes some incredible stuff. You need to have real deep pockets, but there's a lot of people in the Star Wars fandom. There's some guys that have like endless, bombless wallets. So something like this is like one of a kind. But yeah, no, I mean, I mainly know him because he's a Long Island guy, and he's on another podcast that I listen to called the Regular Joe's Podcast, and he makes a lot of real serious Star Wars props.
Yeah, and this is $6,500 for this coffee table. And that doesn't include shipping. That's what drives me nuts about this shit. $600 shipping. And they call it white glove delivery. Includes motor freight, in-home setup, crate packaging, takeaway.
In this guy, if you Google Tom Spina's basement, he has his own cantina bar down there with a bunch of the aliens. And he has a lot of the original props too. Like I know he has I think they're called the Rhodians. He has some like their actual mask and the gloves, and he's a real some incredible prop maker.
Is this him or is this just a lackey?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Tom Spina. He's really well known throughout the Star Wars fandom.
$10,000. Shipping anywhere from $600 to $1,000. If you have to ask about shipping, you can't afford it, basically.
But yeah, I mean, he
collector case storage table. Oh, that's dope. Oh, it's retired.
I mean, he understands that people have a budget as well, so that's why he was making those director chairs. And those director chairs weren't bad price-wise. Like, what, $150? That's pretty incredible.
That's dope. Some fucking, I assume some 12-inch figures in there.
Yeah, for those Gentle Giants. Yeah.
Wow.
So in case you guys ever have fuck you money, like you won Lotto, and that's when you could buy stuff like this.
Well, then, like I say, I didn't realize I wasn't sharing my screen, but now you can see what I was talking about with the light on the desk is the fucking Vader mask with the fucking arm. Oh my God. Yeah. That shit's gorgeous.
He makes some beautiful stuff, but man, you need to have some real extra money to burn. Not just stimulus money. You need 6 stimuluses money. Oh man.
See, and to me, this was too expensive. This $80 fucking arcade one-up Star Wars stool.
That's not a bad price at all. I paid
Really?
$120 for my Pac-Man stool for my arcade. Yeah.
And this is adjustable from 22 inches to 29 inches. So you can fucking adjust it. I thought that was kind of cool. Now,
yeah, because I know my stool
how
is... Yeah, my stool's got to be about 29 inches. It's pretty high up. It's up to the coin door. I'm
revealing my local Walmart store. Lotus would have a conniption. So yeah, kind of cool there. I really want that Star Wars cabinet, but still, just $400 for a downsized. I think I'd rather pay $2,000 for like a full size vintage cabinet of that.
I don't know if you can even get those for $2,000 anymore. But you know what you can do for like $2,000? I don't know if you get one like I got and have it modded and then have them put it in there.
Do you know what drives me nuts? During Christmas this year, Sam's Club got a very small order of cabinets like that. All, it had 100 games on it. Then you got a dongle with 30 more official games.
Mm-hmm.
But the dongle plugged into a USB into the cabinet.
Okay.
And so if you had any ROMs, you could just fucking put them on that USB drive and the cabinet would recognize them. And the cabinet had 2-player, 6-button on both sides.
Yep.
It had a centipede ball. It had a Yar's Revenge spinner wheel as well. All on the surface of the cabinet for $500.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And people were, so it was on the deal site I follow, and people were like, dude, this is the best cabinet out there. You don't have to do any modding on the inside. Just plug in ROMs. It'll play Super NES. It'll play fucking Genesis game, all this shit right out of the box.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I missed it. It sold out in 3 minutes online on Black Friday when it went up. 3 minutes that shit was sold out in.
Yeah, because my cabinet, I paid, I think, $2,200 for it, but I actually got to pick the cabinet. The guy took an old one, took out the old monitor, put in a brand new LCD. He repainted it, rewired it. I picked my own graphics, own color buttons, everything, everything top to bottom, and then new LED lights and everything. And it's heavy, but they're not like 300 pounds like they used to weigh. Mine's probably like 100. But it's those
CRTs would do it in the old school ones.
Yeah, but you know what though? That's something that'd be nice for you to add. Like even though it's arcade up, the Star Wars one, I would the graphics alone on the side. I want it just for my room, but it's hard to justify having two arcade cabinets in this room.
Well, my big thing with the Star Wars one is the handles. I want that.
It's a different one.
Like TIE Fighter, like fucking handles. Mark, you got any? Do you have now, or have you ever had any of these arcade? Not bootleg, but
I used to have a main cabinet a couple of years ago, which had a lot of the arcade games in it. Similar situation, you could literally just plug it in, download whatever ROM you wanted, and play it.
Nice.
So a friend of mine made like a virtual pinball, which was like an LCD screen laid flat, so it looked like an actual old pinball machine. But it was like had like all those Zen tables and stuff, so they were like digital recreations of them. Which was pretty cool. But at the moment, I'm just using my little Raspberry Pi for all that stuff. So just sit in front of the TV with a controller. I don't have the big cabinet and stuff. I'll eventually probably get another one once I get some space sorted out and all the rest of it. But at the moment, I'm quite happy with my little Raspberry Pi. I can play whatever I feel like at the time, so makes me
Yeah,
happy.
those things are great.
Yeah, that's what I do. I've got a Raspberry Pi with RetroPie on it. Now I got to ask you. So, Mark, you had it, and obviously, Rock, you have it now. Now, how many hours a month do you spend standing at that cabinet? Rock, why don't you go first?
I'd say probably about 4.
Okay, so
4 to 6 maybe a month.
Game here or there, you get a hair up your ass kind of thing.
You know what is? I really only get to play it on Saturdays or Sundays, and it's like if my wife's working on a Saturday, I get to come up here and I'll play around for it. But yeah, I notice there's certain games I play. I play the same, even though it's got like 1,000 games. I play the same 20. Yeah, I play Super Mario. I play my 2 wrestling games. I play Russian Attack, Akari Warriors. I play the same games over and over again.
And what about you, Mark? Did you spend a lot of time at those when you had them?
Well, when I had mine, because I had it, much like yourselves, I had it in the house in my little room. I would sit on it, play. I sort of, because there were so many games, and I didn't want to get stuck like with Rock, just playing the same, 10, 15 games. So I would just go through literally alphabetical, and if I was in the mood to play a Super Nintendo, I'd play for an hour of whatever game was next on the list, just to play games. So, but it was more because there are so many games, and you get bogged down playing the same, 5, 6 games, 7 games that you always played. So for me, it was more about just looking at something I never would have played before, and just
I
to
just
see
play
if
the
it's,
hits.
if it's fun.
Yeah, I just play my favorites because I only play for a certain amount of time. I want to do the wrestling because I want to try to win the tag team belts by beating Demolition or beating. You got to beat the Road Warriors in one of them, and the other one you got to beat Andre and DiBiase. So I kind of like to do
nice.
that. Yeah. So it's yeah.
Oh no! Like I said, I've got games that I definitely keep going back to, or I would go back to all the time. But for me, because that was sort of, I guess that was my thing after work. Once everyone was in bed, it was nice to sit down for an hour and just sort of take your mind off things. So I'd play a game. So yeah, I'd just go to the next one on the list, and and again, as a result, there are games there I never would have played that I did play and probably won't play again, and a few that I found. And then there were a couple there that I found that again were never on my radar, and I played it and actually had quite a bit of fun playing it. So it makes it into sort of that rotation when I feel like sitting down for a little bit to play.
Nice. That's a good way to do it. All right, real quick, 2 new series, Cassian Andor. So this was the spy from the Rogue One. Yeah, so we get some casting there for them. Interesting. We've got the actress. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. God damn it. Gotta learn how to switch back and forth here. We get the actress that played Mon Mothma here. And these other ones, again, I'm really bad at this. I don't ever look at this. It looks like Stellan Skarsgård, which is this guy. I assume that's what's his name, Skarsgård's son. Pirates of the Caribbean and Good Will Hunting. Wow, that would make him pretty fucking old. And then Denise Golf from Colette and Angels in America, and I never watched that. Same thing, Kyle. Oh, maybe this is Kyle Solar from The Titan and Anna Karenina. But anyways, if any of those names mean anything to you, they're going to be in the new Cassian Andor series. And then we get an unknown series that's going to be on Disney Plus here. This one's kind of cool. I don't know if either of you guys watched Russian Doll on Netflix.
No,
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's the chick. She always plays kind of like a gruff, like down to earth chick in chick flicks. But anyways, it's a time travel kind of thing. But anyways, this one's kind of interesting that it's going to be a female focused series. that happens in an alternate timeline. So kind of cool to get something different. They're conjecturing here. It says one thing that is more or less certain is the fact that the characters will probably be all new original creations. Thus, it won't be a Dr. Aphra or Ahsoka series, but a new timeline premise. So just excited that we're fucking, whether they're good or bad, I don't give a shit. The Mandalorian, I went in with super low expectations and was kind of blown away. So if it's anything like it, I'm all for it. IDW furloughs a bunch of people. So IDW's responsible for all the current Transformers titles and G.I. Joe titles. I do a discount comic book service, which I learned about through Star Joe's. Great comic book service, especially in these times when you may not want to go to a comic book store. But I haven't heard of a lot of delays. They tend to give me announcements of when this is going to be delayed or that's going to be delayed, but maybe this furlough is going to impact that. But
if you just quickly on that DCB service one, I use that one myself.
Wow, nice.
But there was one of the other podcasts I listened to, 11 O'Clock Comics. They actually interviewed the lady who runs it, and they talked about the shipping issues, how they're getting around it, what they're doing. So if there is anyone interested in that side of things, it's definitely a good little inside look at how they're handling the situation at the moment. A lot of companies like Diamond and all that, I believe, aren't shipping out, but they're working on ways around that to get comics out when they can, with hopefully not too many delays, but there are some delays coming.
But Diamond is looking to start shipping next month in the mid-May or a third week of May, something like that. So hopefully our comic books won't be delayed too long, because I'm a humongous fan of DCBS. You cannot beat their service.
Oh, look, I've been using them for I was using them for over 10 years. I stopped for a little while, and then I got back into it probably in the last 12 months. I started obviously getting them through there again. And again, I do have comic shops near me that are not overly inconvenient to get to. But, I mean, cost-wise, doesn't really work out any cheaper or whatever doing either way. I just find that being able to do it directly through them, I can get some of the exclusive stuff that we don't see here.
So, variant covers and stuff.
Yeah. I always do standard covers, but if you're that guy, I mean, that's the awesome thing is that, and not saying that negatively, but if you're that guy that wants to pick and choose from your covers, that is an awesome feature of that they offer them up all at the same discount and everything.
Well, the other thing is too, like again, buying through them, I can get my stuff. I know I'm going to get it. And I've noticed in particular in the last probably, 6 to 12 months, a lot more people are buying comics here for the investment purpose side of it. They're all speculating on what's going to be a hot comic to turn it around. And I've had stuff hit the shelves, like again on a Wednesday, and they're automatically at $50 instead of the retail price of, like $8 or $9.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because again, it becomes a hot issue, and they give them out to the people that pre-order through the stores, and then all of a sudden they'll have a handful that they'll put out, but they've jacked the prices right up. So this way it ensures that I can get the comics that I read, because I don't buy for that investment side of it. I buy it because I read my comics. I enjoy reading them. That's why I buy them. And then they all get bagged up and put away. But it just sucks that, again, it's like the toy collecting. It just sucks that I can't get something that I'm getting on a monthly basis, because people have gone in there and bought up, all the copies that they've got because they think it's going to be worth $1 million in a week.
Yeah. And so I pay, this may make you feel bad, but I pay a $7 flat rate shipping from them.
It's incredible.
What do you pay to, one, is it a flat rate? And two, what do you pay to get it all the way down to Australia?
Look, it does vary depending on the month, because there are some issues that I get that don't come out every month.
Okay.
But the shipping isn't really all that expensive. It can work out to anywhere from $20 to maybe $40 Australian.
Okay.
That is.
Well, how often do you get your DCBS? Because I only get like 13 to 15 comic books a month, so I only do once a month shipping.
I do once a month again because it's just a bit easier.
Right.
But well, I'll put it to you this way: for this month.
Meanwhile, I get about 8 or 9 comics, just to put this in perspective.
Right,
Again,
so I
I
get
don't
about 40
read
a
mine.
month.
40 a month. Good Lord.
My standard order is 40 a month, and that's not taking into account if there's any. That's the 40 issues. I don't typically buy multiple covers. I usually pick which one I like the most, but recently there was a short run of Ninja Turtles and Power Ranger comics, and where they were teaming up, and I really loved having the 4 turtle comics, and they're all holding a different colored Power Ranger helmet. So for the limited run of that, I bought all 4 of them.
Yeah, I could see that.
If I can make a recommendation for comic books, Terminator versus Transformers #1.
Yeah, gotta love it.
Really?
Great issue.
Oh,
yeah.
I skipped it. It seemed too cheesy. Oh,
It
no.
is.
I thought
It's
it was
very
going to
cheesy.
be. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
I'll have to do the trade. I'll be a trade
I
later.
I went into that with really, really low expectations and was surprised at actually how much fun it was.
Yeah, really enjoyed that issue. It's an odd mashup, but it works.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. Like I said, it was a surprise. I went into it thinking, it's just going to be boring. It's going to be crap. It's going to be horrible. But it was good fun. I wouldn't say it was like a top 10 comic of any sort, but for a bit of fun, definitely get it.
Yeah, exactly. Something different, because everybody probably thought it was going to be the T-800 is going to join up with the Decepticons, and then Sarah Connor is going to join with the Autobots, and it's not that. So
not at all.
Spoilers. Watch out.
No. That's what I thought. No, that's what most people thought. So it's a good issue, and the covers, the variant covers on that were really good too. I'm actually going to go on eBay and probably pick up a different cover. I liked it that much.
All right. Lastly, for you people still watching She-Ra and the Princesses of Power on Netflix, the season 5 and last season teaser clip is up in images. Again, openyourtoys.com. Check out the show notes if you want to look at that. I didn't look at it. I just put the link there because I'm not caught up, because I can't get my 7-year-old daughter to watch this thing that's targeted like directly at her age group. Unfortunately, she had amazing fun building Castle Grayskull. Now that's because I gave her one as a kid for a play set, and so she had like a stripped down vintage one. So she's amazed to see like the elevator working and that, there was a trap door and stuff, but I cannot get her to watch that. Someday, I'm hoping. I keep trying, like each year I go back and I say, okay, let's watch an episode of Clone Wars. Let's watch an episode of She-Ra. Let's watch an episode of this. And she just doesn't get into it. But all right, we're way past our hour and a half cut off. Rock can put on his American Lucha Libre bull mask. Yeah, Mark didn't get to see this. I think he took it off before he joined the cast.
Oh no, I'm just putting this on because I'm going food shopping later.
Oh, is that the mask?
That's right. I'm in New York, so we got to wear a mask covering. So I'm ready to go food shopping. Either that, or I'm going to wear my Michael Myers mask.
That's awesome. All right, Vatos. Well, thank you, Rock. Thank you, Mark, for being on.
No worries at all.
we can get Mark on a couple more times before the coronavirus is completely cleared up down under and he's got to start working again. But we'll see you motherfuckers sooner rather than later.
Peace.
Or
Peace.
later rather than sooner. Peace.
Lotus is going to be yelling for that one. All right, guys. Good night.
See you later.
Later.